The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
All right, Craig, I have some basketball questions for you.
Okay.
I found it incredibly curious that we've reached this point where we have a guy committing to us, JaMychal Stillwell, who's ineligible at this point, but he's committed. He's committed to playing. I mean, it just to me it makes no sense. But I guess that's where we are. I mean, he's 6'8". He played at UCF. I mean, you need him, but what you need now for him, much like a lot of these other guys, is he's got to go to court and he's got to get an injunction because he's one of those 2022 entries that has used up his eligibility. He's well traveled. He's been to 2 junior colleges, and played at UCF, and I think he played another place too.
You know, that's the world we live in right now. You know, and were
you getting commits that aren't eligible?
Yeah.
and it's headlines.
And you're spending time recruiting a kid that's not eligible,
right?
But there's 3 or 4 of the same ilk, the same situation that have been declared eligible, that your chances of getting him now have risen to the point to where, okay, it looks like it could happen, and if it does, we want you. And that's just, it is kind of mind-blowing, the fact that you're spending time recruiting kids that
aren't eligible.
Not only are not eligible, but have to go to court to be eligible. And that's it's a strange day that we live.
Well, you got another one that's in your facility and has been apparently since May.
Yep.
In
that you know quite well.
That you know quite well. You know his jersey size and his number. You know, and it's curious that you would want him back, given how things went down the stretch with him.
Yep. Yeah, and that's one of those things, Chuck, that you had to be in the building, I think. You had to know. You have to know the circumstances of why this happened that way. But to the fans sitting up in the stands, it sure looked fishy. You know, and when I say look fishy, it didn't look like what was happening was the best thing that could have happened.
Well, and your coach kind of said as much.
Yeah. And in today's world, you wonder if he wasn't surrounded by somebody that was had his ear, and that somebody is no longer involved, and maybe you feel like that if he does become available, that circumstances would be a lot different because of that missing link there that caused some of the feelings that you had about the situation. But
was that a player? Was that like a?
No, I think maybe agents or people, or not really an agent, but somebody that he was leaning on for advice and those kind of people.
And that person's not in his world anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's possible.
Okay. Where he got bad advice.
Yeah, and he was getting that kind of advice, and maybe that advice wasn't there. It is not there anymore, and they feel very comfortable. And, Chuck, for all we know, they may not feel comfortable, but they're doing what they feel like they need to do, and that's, he played for Texas Tech, gave us some good years, and if he wants to come back and work out, then that's certainly something we'll allow him to do, and it makes our players better for working out with somebody against them.
Well, I mean, there wouldn't be any I mean, for any concern that you would have about him fitting in.
No.
I mean,
yeah, that's right.
And
that's
so,
right.
I mean, and clearly if he's been here since May and there haven't been any issues, and he's still here. This is the end of July.
Yep.
So we're talking basically, 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, that maybe they feel comfortable.
And what does that send as a signal to future players or past players? Hey, the door's open if you want to come and
make amends.
And do what you need to do.
So fans need to just get over it.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, it's just changing, Chuck.
Right. And here's the thing: is if he comes in and helps you win ball games, people aren't going to. They're going to forget all about the dog and all that kind of stuff.
It's just the college athletics is different, and that's the thing that we got to go on down the road, and it's just different. I mean,
it is so strange though that you get excited about a guy committing to you that
may not can play.
That may not can play. So last year, Jamichael Stillwell for UCF, 31 games, started 30, 11.6 points, 8.1 rebounds, 9 double-doubles, had a 17.15 rebound game against Cincinnati in the Big 12 tournament. Hard to argue with those numbers. The year before, he played at Milwaukee. Okay. The year before that, he played at Butler County Community College, which is in El Dorado, Kansas. It's right outside of Wichita, and that's on the eastern. They've got two divisions there in that junior college. It's called the Jayhawk Conference. Doesn't relate anything to Kansas, but it's just called that. The West and the East, and they're in the East side, and that basketball over the years has been very good, and there've been a number of players that have come out of that conference that have excelled at the at the Division I level. And then the year before that, he played at Miami-Dade.
Yep,
and that's a junior college as well.
And Chuck, I think if you watch a few of his clips, the one thing that he gives you that you need right now is on the defensive side. I think he is so strong, so big.
Some rim protecting.
That's right. He can protect you against another big guy, physicality-wise, and I think that's we've got some of that, but I think it never hurts to have another.
Because it doesn't look like you're getting Momo Faye at this point.
Yep.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It's Monday, July the 27th, 2026. Here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
Big day today.
Big day.
Big day. Huge day. Quite possibly one of the biggest days. But we have to get to this part first. 1983. Gaylord Perry joins Nolan Ryan and Steve Carlton to reach 3,500 career strikeouts, also winning his first game as a Kansas City Royal.
I went to a couple games where Gaylord Perry pitched me. And he wasn't old, but boy, he sure looked old. I can't remember how old he was. I don't know if he was north of 40 yet, but he was pretty close.
I think he was north of 40.
I want to say 43 when he pitched for Kansas City.
That's the number I'd have given you, 42, 43.
Okay, so in 1983, he would have been 45 years old.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure you weren't giving any more stats.
No, that's it. I'm done.
And,
sorry.
And you also didn't get to see a whole lot of spin on that ball when it came at you.
No.
1986, Greg LeMond of the United States wins the 73rd Tour de France. He's the only rider from the United States to keep his titles.
Boy, and he gets lost in history. When he won that was like headline news because no American had ever done it.
Yep. He and one other are the only two bike racing names I could ever give you. I mean, it's limited to two names.
1999, Texas Tech alum Cheryl Swoops earns the WNBA's first triple-double, 14 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists in an 85-46 Houston Comets win.
God, how quickly we forget the Comets who dominated the WNBA, and Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson and
Van Chancellor, the coach.
Oh, yeah.
And in 2021, American gymnast and 4-time Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles withdraws from the women's team final at the Tokyo Games, citing a need to focus on her mental health. She would also miss the individual finals.
Mental health is good. Good mental health.
It is National Creme Brulee Day and National Scotch Day.
I'm not a fan of either.
Oh, that's why it's such a big day for you.
We're not even close. We're getting there, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
Gentlemen, happy birthday, Double T 97.3.
Oh, today's the day, huh?
17 years ago today, we started broadcasting for the Big 12 tournament.
Wow.
I mean, for the Big 12 Media Days.
Wow.
17 years old. Look at us driving and stuff. We're so proud of us.
Right.
17 years. I guess, it's pretty neat that I got to sit in a room and see about 3 or 4 very excited men concerning the inauguration of a station. It was pretty neat.
Yep.
Pretty neat day. And to think that was 17 years ago that they flipped the switch and started, pretty cool.
Also celebrating a birthday today, Alex Rodriguez, who is 51, and Max Scherzer is 42. And on this day, 1974, the House begins impeachment processes of Richard Milhouse Nixon.
Yes, he does.
Just tell the truth, Richard. Come on.
They were not successful.
People have got to know if their president was a crook. I'm not a crook. That's what Jeff was waiting for.
Nope. Because that comes later.
Okay.
And that is Sustained Sports History.
Sustained Sports History. 6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive. This compliment, I think, from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Man, the Morning Drive today sounds like the old Farmers Coffee Shop group at McDonald's in a small town. Well, it wouldn't be at McDonald's. It would be at the coffee shop.
Lucy's.
Or something.
Yeah.
The very first radio station that I worked for, the general manager went to coffee every morning at 9 downtown to the Coffee Inn was the name of this place, and then went back for more coffee at 3. They had the coffee at 9 and coffee at 3.
In the same crowd?
Same crowd, same bunch. It was literally every day. We were a block off of Main Street. You could just walk across the street basically, and then just walk across the alley, and you'd be at the Coffee Inn.
When I was coaching in my first coaching job in Roswell, the most listened to radio program was a morning radio program that was live from Denny's, and you heard more clinking and dishes and people getting up, moving, saying, "Hey, Charlie!" It was live radio at its best.
6:51 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Let's see. We'll have Ranger baseball today. They take on the Mariners. If they win, then they go up by a game and a half or 2.5. If they lose, they're only up by half a game. So, do you have a little Ranger fever, or are you still in the very much wait and see?
I'm especially with Major League Baseball, I'm a wait and see kind of guy.
Okay.
There's so many games, and there's if it weren't for Josh Young, I probably would wait a lot longer.
Really?
But, yeah, but Josh Young draws my attention enough to check every day.
Okay.
About what's going on and so forth and so on. And then just like Davis Martin, when he pitches, I check the White Sox score. But the chances of me knowing and caring what the White Sox do is nil to none, except for when he's playing. Same thing with other players, Hunter Dobbins and people like that are active right now. And I don't think it's playoff time. I don't think it's really get going until mid-September.
Oh wow, okay. Well, by then we're deep into football season by that point in time. Yeah. Now I got to tell you, I'm pretty invested in the Rangers. I've spent quite a bit of time listening this past weekend on Saturday and Sunday, yesterday especially, and that's pretty normal for me. To spend a Sunday afternoon with Eric Nadel and Matt Hicks, and I love those guys. I think they're great.
They are so good.
And
Nadel is so good.
And just the whole and you kind of feel like that. They have an opportunity if they could get into the postseason with at least the starting pitching that they have, that they might be able to make a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
They might be able to win a series. I don't think they can win the World Series. I think, right now, if you had to make I think a favorite in the American League, it might be Tampa, just because of how well they're playing.
Yeah.
But Boston. They've won like 17 of their last 19, and they're still to show you how bad it was for them. They're still so far back in the standings that despite winning 15 in a row, they're now in the second wild card position. Okay, so they're a game and a half up on Cleveland, but they're 54-50. So they're 8-2 in their last 10, and I think it's 17 of their last 19.
And Major League Baseball right now, the only team I feel like that I know is going to be there in October are the Dodgers. The rest of everything else is up for grabs for me.
But here's the thing for the Red Sox: they're 7.5 behind Tampa in the American League East. 7.5. If they were in any other division, they'd either be leading or they'd be like right there.
And they've won 8 out of their last 10.
Yeah, and 17 of their last 19.
God.
Okay.
And they're 7.5.
Yeah.
Oh
7.5 behind.
Yeah.
In the East. All right.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Two very, very, very good ones at doing what they did or do.
On Saturday, Gus was in for Thetford on Thetford and Ashby, and so he played a little clip. Logan Hughes apparently was on the Astro broadcast, and man, he sounded so comfortable, so good.
Yeah. Sounded mature, didn't he?
Absolutely. He sounded like a first-round draft pick, right? But one of the little conversation starter for you. Apparently, he grew up an Astro fan, and they grew up in Florida, and the Astros, where they would come for spring training. He said he's got pictures of him and all the Astro stars from when he was a baby, but his mom apparently would sing the national anthem at Astros games when he was a baby.
Yep.
So wouldn't it be cool when he gets
you think that's coming, don't you?
when he's up there. He'll get up there.
Yeah.
He'll get up there. Hopefully it's with the Astros. All right.
Logan Hughes is a good example of what baseball coaches, I know a couple of them told me, it doesn't really it makes a difference that you play your position well, but it really doesn't make what difference. If you can hit the ball elite, a coach will find a place for you to play.
Yeah, no doubt. And he talked about that. He could play anywhere.
Yep.
So it's about hitting. Right?
Yep, yeah, and he has shown he can hit the ball well.
It's kind of like salespeople. If you can't get to work at 8:40, but you can hit your budget, guess what?
Yeah,
work starts at 8:40.
Yep.
The rules slide a little bit.
Yep.
If you
can close that sale, you're in.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. All right. ESPN put out a football power index. The 10 national title front runners as we head into week 1 of the 2026 college football season. You want to take a stab at, or unless you know, have you seen this?
No, I have not.
You want to take a stab at where they have the Red Raiders?
I'd say probably in the 7 to 10 range.
Okay, 10.
10?
Yeah. 10. But here's the company that you're in at number 10. They have Ohio State at 1, Texas at 2, Notre Dame 3, Georgia's 4, Oregon's 5, Indiana's 6, which is interesting because obviously they're coming off of a national championship, but they lost their quarterback, but they've been able to, I think, retool. Miami is 7, Alabama's 8, LSU is 9, and then Texas Tech at 10. Who in that top 10, or will all of these teams make the college football playoff?
Who makes the college football playoff?
Who of these 10 may not make it, do you think?
Oh, may not make it. Well, that's a good question. SEC would be the conference where it's probably going to be, you've got as good a chance finishing 5th, maybe, more so than any other conference. I don't know. That's a good question. I'd say one of the Big Ten teams.
Yeah, I think it might be Alabama or LSU.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that's crazy is you've got one Big 12 team. Okay, that seems to kind of be where you are right now in terms of the strength of the conference. You have from the SEC, you've got Texas, Georgia, Alabama, and LSU. I have a hard time believing that Texas and Georgia aren't going to be in there when it's all said and done. And I feel like Alabama has lost some of its luster, and LSU may be a year away.
If LSU weren't in the SEC, that would have been my first thought immediately. I just don't think that they're. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they're there yet.
They're going to get there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They've got the money. They're going to get there. They're going to get them some good players.
And then Notre Dame is in there at number 3, and I wish they would be forced to get into conference affiliation, because I think they get too many favors by not being affiliated with the conference.
Because they're Notre Dame.
Because they're Notre Dame. Yeah. Because they're Notre Dame. That's
Do you feel as strong about Ohio State as everybody else does?
I feel like there's a part of me that feels like Ryan Day doesn't get what he deserves, and then there's a part of me that feels like Ryan Day gets exactly what he deserves.
Yeah, I do.
It's just, can he, can they run the table?
Yeah.
It feels like Michigan's a mess, but because their AD is going to be gone and they've got a new coach, but it kind of feels like they've got a coach that is a rock solid guy from the guy from Utah that's taken over. So it kind of feels like that Michigan will be Michigan.
Yeah.
I wonder about Alabama. It just feels like the mystique of Alabama is gone, and it feels like that Caleb DeBoer, even though he's got $60-some-odd million on his contract to buy him out, feels like that if he doesn't have a good year, that he's always going to be on the hot seat. But that's that job probably.
Who could be the silent assassin that hardly anybody I have seen are talking about him on a college playoff level, and I think I just in the back of my mind think, well, maybe Penn State.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that
kind of giving up on him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's a good coach, and I thought what he did at Iowa State, they were never great, but they were sure pretty good every time you played them.
Well, and he got out of there probably at the right time.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, you could make some, and even though he's not an Iowa State guy and he's not an Iowa guy, but you could have made some comparisons with if he'd have stayed with Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
Because Gundy had opportunities to leave and didn't.
Yeah. And he certainly had opportunities, he did. I don't think any of them were as good as Penn State, though. I think that's about the best opportunity he had, and the shortest amount of time that he had to spend turning something around, because they weren't bad.
He's got resources.
Yes.
Matt Campbell does at Penn State that he didn't have at Iowa State. And even though they have a passionate fan base, there's nothing like what they've got there at State College.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3, presented today by someone not named Jamie, is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, an open-ended question. There are no wrong answers except.
Okay.
You heard me say except, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Will Hammond. He is the only unacceptable answer to this question.
All right.
Who is the most important Red Raider on the football roster for the 2026 season?
Man, I just think he's got so much ability, and I'm a fan, and I think he could be a next level guy, and that's Terrence Carter. I just think he's able to do so much stuff for you that he can catch, he can block, he can get those extra yards that might be the difference between first down and third and short. Keeping him healthy, I think, is pretty important.
Can't go wrong with that answer. I'll split it offense and defense. Defensively, Ben Roberts. I think he's got to be who he is, and that's a really good linebacker that's a leader and can get people in the right places at the right times, because I think we've got talent on that side of the ball, and I just think it's a matter of getting it meshed, and you need that leadership over there to do it. Mm-hmm. I think we had it last year with Jacob, but I think Ben Roberts is very, very capable. Offensively, I may surprise you here. I think when you say important, I think it's important to our overall well-being if Quentin Joyner's who he says who people say he is, and that's the premier running back from USC that we got prior to injury. People forget he was going to be the starting running back. I mean, he was RB number 1 prior to getting hurt, and so I think he's got the credentials. I think he's another one that's coming off of an ACL that if he is able to perform at top performance, I think it makes that running back room as good as we've ever had, top to bottom, because you got a three-headed monster back there. If you do, you got, you've already got, Cam and Jacoby Williams, and those guys have shown you what they can do, and then you add Quentin Joyner to that, I think it makes you a pretty complete offensive team.
Because the three-headed monster exists that we think it's going to be is the only reason I'm not putting Cam Dickey as the person I'm pointing to.
Yeah.
Because I think if you were to lose one of the three, the other two, as we saw last year, can easily pick up the slack. I say easily, but have proven that they can pick up the slack of the running game.
Good point.
I think that's the most important position you have on your team other than quarterback. Because I think that's going to be the way you stir your drink offensively is that running back room. But I'm going to go with the other name that you mentioned for the most important, and that's going to be Ben Roberts. When he plays well, the rest of the defense is going to play well. And we saw a lot of flashes of it and a lot of being overshadowed last year with Jacob Rodriguez that I think is going to be unveiled for the upcoming season. And we were excited about him 2 years ago. And now we get to be excited about him as a much older and more mature version of himself.
If you're going to ask me for a defensive guy, I might say Bryce Pollock.
I just started to say the same thing. I just said to myself, as pass happy as this conference is, if you're strong out there on that corner position, you're giving yourself a really, really good chance to be good. And I couldn't agree more that Bryce Pollock could be. He could very easily be very, very important in the big scheme of things.
I mean, he's a guy that can take the ball away.
No doubt.
I mean,
no doubt.
He can sniff that ball out. So
Yep. Yeah. That's you're right. But Terrence Carter. If Will Hammond is successful, I think Terrence Carter's going to be really successful, because I think Terrence Carter's going to help, if not do, and make him very successful.
Yeah. We get this from Viva73. He says the backup quarterback. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean,
No.
Kirk Francis he'll be ready. But you hope that and I hope in a way that Hammond has the same mindset that Mahomes has. Mahomes has said he felt like he ran too much last year.
Yeah.
And so, you hope that Will can be judicious and that the play calling will be judicious with the running. That you kind of hang in there. Maybe the offensive line can give him the time that he needs to throw. Somebody says this. I think Jacoby is the closest thing to Reggie Bush that we have seen in 15 years. Woo! That's a tall task right there, to be as good as Reggie Bush.
Chuck,
Reggie Bush won a Heisman Trophy.
Have we caught ourselves as fans and people that watch games very closely, have we caught ourselves taking for granted Trey White and Adam Trick, our two defensive ends that have come here for the first year in the transfer portal and are replacing two, if not the two, best defensive ends we've had in a long, long, long time?
Probably so. I mean, probably so, because even Coach McGuire said from Big 12 Media Days, I think when he was on with Choice and Jamie, said that, I think Choice asked him, who's somebody who's not getting mentioned, and he mentioned those two guys.
Yeah.
He mentioned those two guys specifically. So,
yeah. And I'll tell you somebody else that I think's going under the radar a little bit, and it's because of Ben Roberts, is Austin Romaine. I think
him and then another guy on that defensive line is A.J. Holmes.
No,
and he could be your most important defensive player.
I don't know what pub he's getting early, but it's deserved, because he's got a chance to be one of the very, very best.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents the Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
8:02 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Good morning with Craig Wells, who's in for Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Nice to have you with us today. We come to you, Craig and Jeff and I, from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock. Take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that. Visual Edge IT hotline, it's open too at 806-771-0973. We'll have baseball on the air for you today. Afternoon affair, Rangers and the Mariners, and that'll be at 1. First pitch at 1:35. Rangers are in first place, and then they head on to Tampa tonight, and they'll take on the Rays tomorrow, and that'll be a 5 o'clock broadcast time tomorrow. The Major League Baseball had its Hall of Fame inductions yesterday, and I mean, I don't know where it was. That's something that over the years that I usually enjoyed watching the speeches, or at least hearing some of the clips or things along those lines, but I missed out on all of it from yesterday. But Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent all going into the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday. Feels like those guys are getting younger and younger too.
Yeah,
that are going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Any thoughts on any of those guys?
No, not. I think Jeff Kent kind of surprised me. I think it's deserving, and it surprises me that other people thought that. But in Beltran, I think that goes without saying. I think he's had enough good years that he was he was going to make it. But yeah, I'm good with all three of them. I think they're very deserving. Very deserving.
Jeff, here's a list of guys that Jason Stark says are in right now that are active players. I want to get your take on this, you and Craig. So here's who he says is in right now. They don't have any work left to do, and will be in at some point in time. He's not talking about first ballot or anything like that.
Right.
But this is guys that are in. Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Mike Trout, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Nolan Arenado, Jose Altuve, and Shohei Ohtani.
Altuve's the interesting one there. On the merits of just his achievements, for sure, he's deserving. I just don't know how the voters are going to handle the trash can. I don't know how they're going to handle that.
Yeah.
Well, Beltran, I mean, he was kind of the leader of that group.
Yeah, but Altuve's a little different in this conversation. I'm interested to see how that's going to go.
Because you think Altuve benefited more than Beltran
Yes.
did? Even though Beltran was kind of an instigator, that Altuve was a guy that really benefited from
Yes.
that?
And again, he's got the numbers to get in there. He's got the career path to get in. I just wonder what that's going to be like from the voters.
That's a good point. I'll go a step further. I think Mike Trout's first ballot.
You do?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. The injuries have piled up on him that have really kind of, and the fact that there's no postseason for him.
Yeah.
Not that postseason means anything, but is it too early? And then he has stars by the people that are new to his list. Jason Stark does this every year. Arenado and Altuve and Ohtani are all newcomers to this list. Is it too soon for Shohei Ohtani to declare him a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, do I expect him to be a Hall of Famer? I do. Mm-hmm. But if he has massive injury this week and can't play another game, he's not a Hall of Famer.
I tell you another thing I think could slow it down a little bit is if he becomes a one-way player.
Just a hitter.
Yeah, if he's just a hitter, I think he'll gets in if he continues to hit well and like he has been in the past. But I think the fact that he's a two-way player now has sped up that process. If it drops off, and I'm like Jeff, he's got a lot still to do, I think, before he gets in. But if he does it at a high level, I think he gets there. But
okay, here's four guys he says are in the red zone. Okay, so inside the 20. Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, Paul Goldschmidt, and Chris Sale. And Chris Sale is new to this list.
I would say yes to all four of those.
Okay, and would you say that Bryce Harper is closer to being in right now than any of them?
Probably. But it's like a 1A, 1B type situation. I think all those four guys are in.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm not saying they're all in first ballot, but I think all four of those guys are in.
I think Chris Sale's right on the cut line.
He's got a little more work to do.
Yeah.
Got to stay healthy down the stretch.
Yeah. I would.
And
then
then
Bryce Harper, I think's in.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And then across the 50, and I don't know that any of these three can get there. Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, and Salvador Perez. Perez just became the all-time home run leader for the Royals, which is shocking that it's only like 318 home runs, and he beats out Brett, who hasn't played in 34 years, which that tells you something about that organization. Any thoughts on any of those guys?
If you told me they were getting in, I don't know that I'd be upset about any of them. I don't know that I'm picking any of them to get in.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I don't know that if they're at across the 50, they just stepped across it.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was kind of an interesting.
It's
little list.
hard to say 325 home runs, whatever he's going to end up with this year or whatever. It's hard to compare that when 700 plus is the top. I mean, that's hard.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's guys that 440 and they're in easily.
Yeah, but different era. I mean, it's just hard when you start comparing. And people don't compare eras enough when they start comparing.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.